Hello and welcome to another episode of Unlimited Power TCG. We are joined today by my new co-host Andy. Andy, say hello and introduce yourself a bit.
Hey, I'm Andy Cam, and I play this game uh, for fun, definitely. I'm not great at it, but it's an awful lot of fun, and just helping to help Mark out with a bit of the content.
Yeah, so this episode we're doing today is we're going to be looking at the Darth Maul Spotlight deck that has come out with what's Legends of the Force? Legends of the Force, yeah, that's the one.
That's right, Mission Force Set 5.
And we'll go through that. We will give our thoughts on. Let's say you pick this up. Let's say you're new to the game, and you wanted to. You'd had some games with the Darth Maul Spotlight deck, and you were looking to expand it out to add things to it, maybe make it a bit more competitive, a bit more powerful than what it is straight out the box. We've got some ideas here to help you think through what you might be doing in such a things if Darth Maul has taken your fancy. So this is a Darth Maul Spotlight deck itself. You get the box. It's like MSRP 35 Great British Pounds. You get an extra booster in there as well, and a whole bunch of card little tokens, which, let's face it, nobody's been playing the game for any period of time uses anymore, but they're nice, I suppose. They're better than nothing.
So lots and lots of people that play this game and they play it and they spend a lot of money on it. They still buy those intro boxes.
Oh, yeah,
There's a
yeah.
lot of people that still buy those.
So I buy them every single set and I keep them in their fixed sealed configurations. So if ever there's a point that I want to show somebody how to play, I can take these two fixed decks and pit them against each other and use them for learning purposes. And you never know, maybe there'll be like a sealed game environment coming along one day down the road. Cool. This is the deck list for the deck itself. Everything in there that's marked with an asterisk is from a previous set and is a reprint. So where it says Count Dooku Rare 138, that's Dooku from a set which is not set 5 Legends of the Force. I think that's the one from Twilight, if I recall correctly.
Dooku's in Set 3, is it
Yeah,
not?
that sounds about right. Fallen Lightsabers from way back in set 1, Spark a Rebellion. And it looks like those are the only two reprints in this.
Thought there was one more.
Oh yeah, there is Force Choke right at the very end. You're absolutely right. Which is a really, really good card, of course. But all the rest of the cards in here
Starting.
are brand new from Legends of the Force. You get a so in starter decks, previous sealed decks that they've done, you got one rare card. Spotlight decks are a bit more complicated than starter decks. This one contains 5 rares, as does the Qui-Gon Jinn one that's paired up with. And if you ever want to build what the deck is, or you take it apart and you want to rebuild it, you get a card with this stuff. This is actually what is on the back of the base inside the Spotlight deck, so it's always in there if you want to ever refer back to it or use it. Um, this was also in the Spotlight deck as well, which I thought was quite good. They didn't have these in the previous Spotlight decks from set 4 Jump to Light Speed. I don't know if you've seen this or read this at all, Andy. What do you think?
This is it on the back of the Force token you get with it?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think it is. I think it is. It's a nice idea.
Yeah.
A few tips of how to play, how to play that deck out.
Hmm.
With Darth Maul, I definitely think it's a good thing. You'll see when we do the Qui-Gon Jinn mirror match of this. What's it called? There's a lot of changes to be made to Qui-Gon, whereas pretty much works.
Yeah, Maul's all about killing stuff. He's relatively simple in that regard. Qui-Gon gets a bit more complicated, but we'll get to that in another video, which we'll put a link to probably in this video description below once we've recorded it. So that'll be nice and convenient to pop backwards and forwards in. So anyway, let's take a look at the deck Andy put together when we asked him to take the Darth Maul Spotlight deck and add a few cards to it, subtract a few cards to it, make it a bit more powerful and competitive. But the restriction here is nothing like legendary or expensive, so that this can still be accessible to people who are perhaps casual or new to the game and look to upgrade their deck without having to spend a huge bunch of cash on it. So yeah,
You don't really even
talk
have
us
to
through.
spend a huge bunch of cash on it. A lot of these cards you can pick up for pennies, or you can just trade. You can trade with people that have got these cards sitting in a box somewhere in the house.
Yeah, a lot of these things lying around. I mean, some of the rares will be a little bit less readily available in some cases. You might have to pay a couple of quid for the fallen lightsabers, but even so, it's still accessible as these things go. But yeah, talk us through it, Andy. What have you got? What's the reasoning here?
Okay, so like I said, a lot of the deck is pretty much as is. I'm going to run through the cards that are the same that you get with the starter. Um, so for the deck's pretty good as it is, and we just need to upgrade a few of the cards. So staying in there, I think, is what's important. Is that you've got Harris, you have got Kylo Ren, and you have got two really, really good two drops there. I've added in and removed some of the stuff out of it that I wasn't comfortable with, and just added in the Secret of a Sage, just a really good blue card. It's got one shield on it, a 2/2 for two, and it is Force, which is important for the deck. Uh, I've put in Fifth Brother, a little bit of Fifth Brother, because of Maul's ability. You can use it if you have to damage Fifth Brother, and it gives him a better sort of strike capacity when he comes in and sort of tries to do damage.
Because his raid
Uh,
increases the more damage he's got on him, right?
yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's right. Just so one of my favourites is the how do you say this one? Dojo Bongo or something along that. The
Ogdo
giant frog.
Bogdo. Yeah.
That is it. Giant frog. 5/5 can't attack. But again, with Maul's ability, you pick a damage, and all of a sudden it can.
I don't actually
Which
know where Ogdo Bogdo is from in Star Wars, I must
it's
confess. I've never.
from the game. I think it's the first game that they put out with the Jedi Survivor.
Oh, Fallen Order stuff. Yeah, got you.
That's it. That's it. Um, because I've got three of them,
Hmm.
um, and I got them from going and playing with yourself in Birmingham. Darth Tyrannus has to go in the deck.
Oh, yeah.
I think you get one. Did you get one Darth Tyrannus in?
So every spotlight has got four different S-rated cards in there, and it's got three copies of each of them inside the spotlight deck. So you do get three Darth Tyrannus inside the spotlight deck, and it's the only way to get it outside of foil versions or hyperspace versions in normal boosters and whatnot.
To events and getting the event copies. That is
Yep,
the other way of
that
doing it,
too.
of course. You got Talzin's Assassin again, three of. I think it's in there with three of.
It is.
Night Sister, Warrior, just a great card for drawing extra cards, putting a body out there, and also it's got the Force. And then just my own little flavour of Intercept Race from the last set. Pilots, I think, need to be kept in for that extra little bit of sort of damage. Once you've got a space unit out there, you can throw in a pilot. This one costs three to put on any of your spaceships.
But more relevantly,
And the
has grit.
lovely,
Yeah.
it has grit. It's quite tasty, especially if you throw it on something that's already been damaged. And then, of course, Maul's ability helps with grit if you need to push that extra point damage through
And the
onto
synergy with
base.
Scimitar can't be overstated with that as well. That could get some huge damage ratings.
Well, you've got Scimitar. You've got two Scimitars in there, and the reason is I don't like it on its own.
That's fair.
As in, I don't like the card on its own. It's useful with other things. Uh, so having three of it is a bit too much for me. In space, we have three Padawan starfighters, which I think are in the box. Two Scimitars, so you drop in a Scimitar from what's in the box. Added to that is two devastating gunships, again for the grit.
Yep.
And then the Pierre de Resistance is the First Light. So if you can find somebody with a couple of copies of First Light, I think that was set two.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. So
First Light came
that
out in.
was Shadows of the Galaxy.
It's rare. I like it because I can just put it in my resources, forget about it, and then if I go to the late game, and this deck shouldn't go late game, if I go to the late game, I can throw out First Light.
Yep. And each other friendly non-leader unit gains grit, which can be disgusting with the amount of self-damage Darth Maul can put out if you want to.
And of course, you've got the actual ship when it's smuggled out, you have to do 4 damage to a friendly unit. So you're going to have something hopefully standing up with grit that takes 4 damage
Yep.
and then can attack.
Just don't damage Maul himself, the leader, because it doesn't give leaders grit.
They, yeah, don't damage more. Bad idea.
Cool.
Force throw. It's a force deck. It's got red. It has force throw in it.
Yeah,
Um,
seems fair.
yeah, less said about force throw at the moment, the better. We're just going to have to see how it goes.
Uh,
Uh, we have new card, Antari Onslaught, I believe it's called.
Ataru? Yeah, something like that.
Sorry. Ataru Onslaught. Just a really nice little card to get one of your. A lot of the units are relatively small,
Mm-hmm.
3 drops, 4 drops, and then of course your 2 drops. So you can get them standing back up again. Fifth Brother is a favourite to do that with
Yep.
because he can be damaged. He's still got
Well, his attack
a
boost from raid is only ever active when he's attacking itself. But if something has grit, then its attack boost is bonus, so it is permanent. So that could take it over the threshold of being able to be readied with Ataru Onslaught.
be ready with Tyrant Slot because it's power. It's his power, not the raid.
Yep.
So that is absolutely fine. Power of the Dark Side. 2 of. You don't need much removal, but it's nice to have. Shatter Point for the same reason. And then I've thrown in Death Field just because it's cool.
Yep.
And it can do lots of damage to lots of units in, I think it's both arenas, but it's non-vehicle,
Yeah.
so it's unlikely to be in space.
Yeah, there's a lot more creatures in space in this set than there ever have been before, but that doesn't mean to say there's very many of them.
It's true. But you can then use it alongside Maul's ability to, mass takedown
Yeah.
if that is a problem for you. More about the mass takedown in a moment. Fallen Lightsaber, 3 of. It's amazing. It's well worth if you have to spend whatever on them. They are very useful to have. And then Darth Maul's lightsaber, just 2 of. I've dropped 1 of them just because it's specific to the leader, and there are no other copies of Darth Maul in this deck. So
you can, of course, play it on other units, but it only gets the most benefit from being played on Darth Maul himself. And
absolutely,
you're
and
going to
when
be
you've got the
deploying,
fallen
of course.
lightsabers in there, you're upping the number of fallen lightsabers. You're dropping the number of Darth Maul's lightsabers. It's all good. Sideboard, Kylo Ren's lightsaber. Just to add more lightsabers in there, but they do a slightly different thing. Kylo Ren's lightsaber prevents the unit that has attached from either being put back into your hand, waylay, etc., or indeed being tapped. And with quite a lot of things that can spend a force and tap your cards and whatever else, it's just a useful thing to have. And I believe one of the new leaders is it sort of does lots of tapping of your
The new Kylo Ren
oh,
leader with
isn't it?
upgrades and abilities can
Yeah.
be weird. Cal Kestis leader himself can tap stuff, but the opponent gets to choose who gets exhausted.
Yes. So if you've got a loan, was in there because I needed to put a sideboard in. Obviously, everybody's going to have their own flavour. I like the Tri-Fighter. The Tri-Fighter just means that when you face things like Rey, things that do lots of healing all the time, you can throw as many as you can in there. So maximum of 3 that you can sideboard in. And it just stops, when it's on the field, it stops the base from being healed. Then we've got Bombing Run. I've put 3 Bombing Runs in here for good reasons, mainly Vader.
You've fallen foul of Vader Yellow a time or two, have you?
Not really. I really enjoy playing Vader Yellow. I think it's a good, quite balanced deck. If you know how to play against it, it's fine. If the person playing it knows how to play it really well, then it's not so fine. But yeah, the Bombing Run is in there because I had to put this together quite quickly, and it just felt the right kind of call. All the sideboard, in fact, any of these cards you can swap out for whatever you like.
Of course. But the reasoning's
Old
important.
favourite line. Sorry?
The reasoning's important to hear, and the ideas that have gone into this, and The deck as it is has very, very few space units and space presence, so if you need to wipe space, great, do it.
Well, talking of space and having a problem in space, I've got an old favourite, which is the Clan Saxon Gauntlet. Absolutely love this ship. Yes, it's a six drop, but most of the things you'll see are sort of going up to four, possibly five.
Hmm.
Um, so having a six drop in there is not too much of a problem if you need something big in space that is going to scare off the opposition. It sits there when it's sentinel. When it's attacked, it gets extra experience.
Hmm.
So yeah, more flip turn. You basically want to be doing damage twice if you can. Um, the kind of things that you want to be throwing out, I would say, are quite a lot of um, the events. So on the Maul flip turn, you should have your units in place. You should have control of the board because you've been controlling it with Maul, and therefore you want to be using it for things like force throw to do damage to anything that's in the way. You want to be using it for things like Ontori Onslaught, so that some of your units can get back up again and carry on fighting. Power of the Dark Side, clearly, once you've whittled down their units with Maul, then just picking the last one off with Power of the Dark Side and taking absolute control of the board would be where I'd be going. Shatterpoint and Deathfield, maybe not so much. They're sort of there for a little bit of removal.
Hmm.
But
Because you
yeah,
haven't got
that's
any
the list.
six drops natively in the deck itself, so you'd be looking to play a couple of threes or a four and a two or something, I guess. Maybe
Like I
five and
said,
one.
that kind of thing. But the events, Maul's drop turn is quite impactful
Mm,
to quite a wide area. So having the events to back that up and being able to kind of just remove stuff
yeah.
that is in the way or get ready for you know
And if you really want to
just
go
being in
crazy,
control of
you
the
could put
board
a
by the
fallen
end of
lightsaber
the
on him
ultimate.
and the Darth Maul's lightsaber and just hit for a bajillion damage.
I mean, you can do that with most of the two drops.
It's true.
Get two drop out, put a lightsaber on it. It's going to be a problem. They're going to have to remove it. So there we go.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you very much. I like the look of this. Very interesting. Here's my take on what I did with the same deck. I haven't put a sideboard together for it. When I looked at doing this, I looked at it from a focus of making sure that there was as many force units as possible in the deck, because you want to be making use of the leader action and ability as often as you can when you've got um, a powerful leader like this. The only way to gain the force token is through the common base, which is 28 hit points when a friendly force unit attacks. The force is with you, and to do that, we've got Witch of the Mist, which is a one-drop force unit. 1/3 isn't the most survivable thing in the world, but she is hidden, so hopefully she is going to be able to survive through to turn 2 and swing and gain you the force. She can't be ambushed at least, but she could potentially be pinged by Cad or Quinlan or anybody else. Karis you included for similar reasons. Night Sister Warrior you included for similar reasons. Secretive Sage is similar reasons. 2/4 Karis on turn 1 is really good, and the 2/2 Shielded is also really good with Force keyword. Moving on to the 3 drops, I've got Ogdo, Bogdo, and Fifth Brother for again exactly the same reason you did. Fifth Brother synergizes well. When he takes damage, he does more damage. And Ogdo Bogdo is a really high powered card that can't attack unless he's been damaged himself. And he heals every time he attacks, and Darth Maul will continually damage him, so keeps him being able to hit hard. But I did also put in Merrin, who's a 3-drop Force Night Sister with 2/5, and her ability is on attack. You may discard a card from your hand if you do deal 2 damage to a unit, which could help keep the enemy's board clear. Or potentially do some more damage to a friendly unit like an Ogdo Bogdo or Fifth Brother or someone else. So that's a potential synergy there. Same as yourself, I've kept the Darth Maul's lightsaber down to 2, because the only unit I want to play on is Darth Maul. Seeing it once throughout the game is fine for me, so I've dropped it from 3 copies down to 2 copies. Again, Fallen Lightsaber, exactly as you said, is horrifically powerful, and a really strong card for +3/+3 for 3. with Force synergies. Darth Tyrannus, ambushing when you've got the Force is powerful. He comes in shielded as a 4/3. Scimitar Spaceship. I've chosen not to go very heavy on space in this one, largely because I didn't really see many synergies with the space units. The Padawan spaceship that you did, I understand why you put it in there, and I did think about doing so, but I then decided that it was more important to have Force units on turn 1 attacking as often as possible to gain the Force in order to be able to use Darth Maul's leader ability, which is why I dropped the Padawan spaceship in the end. Oh,
I think
excuse me.
maybe swapping out the Paragon spaceship for your Karis might just be an easy three for three that I can try.
Yeah, potentially. Talzin Assassin, again, you had that in there. I've got that as a Force unit for 4. It's very worthwhile including. The Scimitar becomes a 6/4 for 4 when it's been damaged by even 1 point, and those are good stats to be attacking with. Shatterpoint is in here as removal that synergizes with the Force token if you want it. It's cheap removal that could potentially kill any non-leader unit on the board, which is good. I went in with Sasage Ventress on this one as a 5-drop because when played, she's got immediate impact from the when played, not on attack. So she'll give another Force unit +2 attack for the phase when played or on attack, which can apply to almost any of the other units that's been played before, with the exceptions of Bogdo and the Scimitar. So that's got use there. Endgame in here, I've put in some copies of the Sun because again, he's not going to be attacking himself, but when the Force is with you, each friendly unit gains +2 attack. So he could be beefing up every other unit on the board that's friendly to him. That could even be your leader, just increase the amount of damage that they do when they're attacking. And I left Darth Sidious in from the Spotlight deck because he's one of the S-rated cards that is exclusive to the Spotlight decks, and I kind of wanted to include all of them to a degree because I think that they feel like they're part of the identity of the deck in a way. So I thought, hey, well, let's leave it in. What's the worst that could happen? It could be a laugh. We get to 8 resources and you get to play one of those. What else we got here?
I'd say they're very similar.
Yeah. In a way,
But
the Maul deck
and I think
is pretty straightforward.
the Mull deck is very straightforward. And I actually think it's quite a good deck as well.
Mm-hmm. Force
Pretty
goes in
easy to
there for
play.
the same reason you put it in. I've kept Force Choke at 2 because it's useful. Again, same reason you put it in there. There's only a few key card differences, really, isn't there, between yours and mine?
I think you have more witches. The 2 red witches are the big difference.
Mm-hmm.
What have I got instead? I have no big top end. That is what the first light is for,
Mm-hmm.
just to kind of make your damaged units your top end, so you're attacking with sort of a wide-ish board.
Yeah, it's a closer.
Uh, yeah, but I haven't got I haven't got the 7 drops or Palpatine.
Sidious, I'm really on the fence about. The fact that you play him on 8 and he's a 6/8 is okay, and he's a restore 2 means he's not going to be doing any restoring until the following turn, if you even get to swing with him at that point. But the ability to potentially do a board wipe through using the Force could be useful. Why not? Basically, let's give it a go. It could be funny. And I'd rather put Snoke in, but frankly, Snoke is quite an expensive legendary. So yeah, there we go. Those are our takes on expanding out the Darth Maul Legends of the Force Spotlight decks. If you disagree with us, please tell us in the comments. Everybody loves people disagreeing with each other in the comments. If you've got ideas that we missed that you think should be included in this, either philosophically or on any particular individual card, tell us. We'd love it. Also, if you value what we've done, or the content or any of this, if it's given you a laugh or given you any kind of information, please consider doing the whole YouTube likey, subscribey stuff that every content creator in the world asks their audience to do. That's it from me. Any final words, Andy?
Pre-releases was amazing, and I think if you want an easy deck to play more, take it to your local weeklies, get those packs of promo cards, and play Darth Maul.
Yeah,
That's my advice.
he's a nice, straightforward killy deck. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Cheers for your time. See you next time.
Bye.